And you see all the naysayers out there who want to criticise and look at, you know, a few setbacks and speculate that all I'm into this for is because I want to defraud thousands, millions of people out of their money. No, guys. Does anybody really believe that if I know all this stuff, I need to collect money from you? Does anybody really believe that? Why don't I just do all this on my own? Why don't I just recoup all my credit and create currency and go and live in great big castles? I could do that. Why have I come halfway around the world to carry on with this out of a danger that I was in, which isn't a danger, by the way, but it was at the time? Why would I do all that? And the answer is simple, because I want the truth to be understood. That's what drives me on. The world is one big lie. I was seduced to believing it for many, many years. I want the truth to get out there. That's what matrix freedom is all about. Freedom through the truth. And there is a way out, and I'm going to show it to you in part 2. And it's not as complicated as many people might believe it to be. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a good time as a person. I had a very good time when I had a lot of digits in my accounts. You know, I had the yachts and flew on private jets and did all that stuff and went to fancy venues and lived in a big house and had all that stuff, had all the cars, did all that stuff that the ego loves to do. And I had a good time. But none of that stuff actually belonged to me, that I am the man, the conscious energy. None of it. So you can have a very good time, but there's a problem, which is if the Crown, the state want to turn you off from having all that, they can take it all away in the push of a button. And that's the reality of it, the way it's currently structured. Because that's why I do what I do. Nothing to do with the business, Richard Bodes. Nothing to do with Iain's a fraudster, he's trying to steal everyone's money. No, it's got fuck all to do with that, I can tell you. It's got everything to do with freedom. And I'm talking from the heart here, guys, because I've been working on this round the clock for years, trying to deliver this. And this is now the beginning of it, right? And what this is really all about, it's nothing to do with running a business, making a load of money because there isn't any money, Iain floating around on a yacht or anything like this, or driving Ferraris. I did all that 20 years ago, guys. I had it all. I had the big mansion. I had 90-acre estate. I had the cars. I had the yacht. I used to fly around in a private jet. I've done all that stuff. I've been there and done it all. I've got the T-shirt. I just want to provide remedy and freedom for those who are seeking it. And that's what this webinar is really all about. It's got nothing to do with how much money Iain's going to get for all those naysayers out there who think I'm a fraudster. It actually quite upsets me when people say all that shit. Because if I really wanted to defraud everybody, I'll guarantee that if I was wired up that way, I would be doing it entirely differently from the way I am at Matrix Freedom. If I really want to defraud people, I'm bright enough to bring out all kinds of fraud schemes, I can assure you. Now, what I want is I want to be interviewed by at least 100 of those interviewers, at least 100 over the next couple of years. Just imagine if I had 100 interviews, quality interviews, and the audiences of those interviewers then became aware of what we're offering through webinars and became aware of how they can access our programs, which basically are free for them as well, even though there may be an initial donation to get started, because you get everything back through the recoupment program known as Infinite Money. You get more back than you put in by many, many times over, infinitely more back than you ever put in. And I'm offering all of those 4 key core programs to the interviewer
just to interview me. Whether they do any webinars or not, it doesn't matter. I would love them to host webinars with me presenting. They're going to get our 4 core programs for nothing. And that offer is available today. And I want about 100 interviewers who are regularly interviewing me going forward. Because if you add all the audiences of top interviewers together, you're talking of an audience base of many millions. That's primarily what I want. And the way to get the interviews is through networking, yeah? And if you are interested in doing that, later on I'll tell you how you can be very handsomely rewarded for that.